So just a mini little quick review. Okay, so our equations have to look like this in order for us to graph them. Okay, the y has to be by itself, and we always plot the b first. Okay, that's our y-intercept. We plot that b first, and it's our starting point. Okay, and then for the m, that's our slope, and it's our rise/run. Okay. The key for today is that the y has to be for like by itself. Okay, so if it's not, you got to rearrange stuff. And then obviously we have a positive and negative slope. If I had one critique on the papers that you did the other day, some of you guys are not plotting your slope. Like, I don't want to say you're not thinking, but like, I can tell already that these two slopes are both negative, which means both of my lines should be going this way without even doing anything else. So I can take one quick glance at your paper and tell like if your paper is even remotely right without even like looking at your solution, because both your lines should be faced one way or both opposite ways. Okay, and so think about that as you're graphing it. Okay, so this is going to be a negative slope and this is a positive slope. Okay. So when we graph this first one, and I have colored pencils too, so if you want to use a colored pencil for one line and use a pencil for the other line, you're more than welcome to, okay? So we start at -3, okay, and our slope is -1. Okay, there's really a 1 in front of this x, and so it's really a -1/1. So you're going to go up 1 and over 1. Okay, now, on the first line, you have to plot every point, okay? So you're going to have to go up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1. Okay, so we got our first line graph there. Okay, and then for our other line, where does it start? At 4. Okay, so we started at 4, and this is where some of you guys get messed up, because can you go up 8? No, and so you have to go down 8, and then when you go over, some of you guys like go over the wrong way. Okay, so you need to think that this is a negative slope, so I should be going down and over this way in order to make my line. So we're going to go down 8 over 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 over 1. Okay, and so where my points are both colors at this, what do you call it? Purple and blue one, okay, that's my intersection point. Okay, that's my solution. Now, some of you guys graphed them all, and then you never wrote me the coordinates to the solution. So make sure that you write down the coordinates to that solution today. Okay, and so those coordinates are going to be 1, comma, -4. Oh, shoot. Cross off number 3 and number 10 and then 13. Okay, put your phone up. Okay, 3, 10, and 13. Okay, so even if you're in the other class, same thing, cross off 3, 10, and 13. Okay, so 3 we're not going to do, so we're going to go to the next page. Okay, now, the next page we look at is the y by itself. No, it's not, okay? And so I'm going to write you down some steps, and you can write them on your first page or second page. So, if the y is not by itself, this is the order that you need to do things, okay? You have to add or subtract the x's, and then you're going to divide the number by the y's. Okay, and I'll show you what I mean. What's up, bud?
I was starting my bad.
Did you go to class already?
Yep, first kids.
Okay, so every single time you're going to add or subtract the x's, and then you're going to divide the number that's next to the y. And I think I set them up to always be divided. Okay, so if we look at this first one, and I'm going to write it down here. I got 8x plus y equals 4. Okay, so do we need to add or subtract those x's? Okay, well you got to look, is that a plus x or a minus x? So in this case it's a positive, so you're going to subtract the x. So you're going to say minus 8x. Whatever you do to one side, you have to do to the other side. So you're going to say minus 8x. Okay, so these x's cancel, and you're left with y equals, and then for this part, okay, you're just going to write it all in a straight line. Okay, so we got 4 minus 8x. Okay, or you can write negative 8x plus 4. Okay, and then we can go ahead and solve the other line too. So the other line says x plus y equals negative 3. Okay, one note, okay, we didn't need to divide the number next to the y's because there was no number next to the y's. Okay, if there is a number next to the y's, if there was like a 3, then you have to divide everything by 3. Do we add or subtract the x's? We subtract them, so we're going to say minus x, minus x. So you get y equals minus 3 minus x. Okay, and so we're ready to graph these. So we're going to graph the purple one first. And what is the y-intercept? What do you plot first? The 4. Okay, so the number that's next to the x is always going to be your slope, no matter where it's at. Okay, so we're going to plot the 4 first. So we go to the 4, and my slope is negative 8. Okay, so can I go up 8? No, so I'm going to have to go down 8. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and over 1. Okay, for the y's, I start at what? Negative 3. Okay, and what is my slope? Negative 1 over 1. Okay, so we could say up 1 over 1. Okay, and you don't have to plot them all. And that intersection point is going to be where that blue dot and that purple dot are both going to be the same. Okay, and what is that intersection point? 1, negative 4. Okay, look at 7. Are the y's by themselves? Does it say y equals? Yeah, so then we don't need to go through and solve it all. We can just, it's ready to graph. Okay, so we start graphing this one at 3. And my slope is 1 over 2. So you're gonna go up 1 and over 2. Up 1 and over 2. Okay, or on the opposite side, you can go down 1 over 2. Down 1 over 2. Okay, the other one is gonna start at -1. And is that slope positive or negative? Negative, so my line should be going the opposite way. Okay, and that goes back to, like, that's how I can tell if your graph is even remotely right. Okay, I know that my line should be going opposite ways. So we're gonna go up 3, 1, 2, 3, over 2. Okay, we don't have to plot the whole line because as soon as you get that intersection point, you don't have to plot any more points. Okay, you can plot them all if you want to, but you don't have to. Okay, and what is that coordinate? -2, 2, good.